Okay, so something of quite a bit of interest here, and not saying it's for sure Sasquatch, but right straight ahead of me, this portion of tree limb is drove straight in the ground right off the side of the trail. It could obviously be, could obviously be a human drove that in there. Tad bit conspicuous, actually. Pretty tall, and it's not hung up into those trees. I looked up there, it's not. And what's even crazier is that when I turn this way, I've got a broken tree that is a little old, but look down on the ground right there. And where's my fit? Right here. That's the top of it. Now, mind you, I spend a lot of time up here, and I actually see some activity. We're gonna walk down there real quick, but then hold on here. Let me get my set this down here. Let me try to get my thing to focus just a little bit more on one particular thing here. All right, let me see what we got for light here. Yeah, a little more powerful light. So let me back that off again just a little bit more, give you a broader area of what I'm looking at. So right here off the trail, I got another tree broken right here. That doesn't look like that's awful too fresh. Yet it's broken, obviously. But that right there, I don't remember seeing that, although it is somewhat old. But check this out. What's crazy is that there's wet mud right here. And wet on the tree too. And wet over there. And I don't see any great big huge impressions of a Sasquatch foot in the ground. Really, I don't. Let's see what my boot would do. Well, that's pretty solid right there, actually. It's got some root structure and stuff under it. But what I thought was kind of interesting is it's just really bare through here. These two trees, and look at that. These dead trees up here. Looks like they've been pushed over. I can't. All right, look at this. We got fresh break here. Fresh stick broke here. This is probably going to be it. Pretty good attacked here. Now, it's just me. I mean no harm. I'm just checking out your spot here, and then I'm going to go into the pond. I'm definitely not interested in walking back there and hanging out with you tonight. But something stepped on that and snapped that off. This right here has obviously been knocked over by this big dead tree right here. All right. Weird, we got other sticks just setting in the trees here. Weird, conspicuous. And then, okay. See, now that's very interesting right there. This tree right here, that's snapped off. That ain't got a root ball on the bottom of it. So it didn't come from right there. And that's underneath of all this, wedged in between them two trees. And then, damn thing's about 40 feet long. This one here, this got pushed over when this great big old tree came down on all of it. So, let's go back. Thank you if you're standing out there. It's pretty cool how you get through the woods, buddy. I gotta say. I will also say something else. All year long, I really haven't felt like there's been anything up here, but that's kind of changed. My heart's racing, and I do feel like there's something really close to me right now. Not kidding. So I'm gonna get going back into the pond because I can always come back and check this out. But either way, research area 2. Okay, this May 7th, 2021, we got a big old tree limb drove in the ground right on the trail. We got a tree break Other half of it is laying on the ground. It's all a dead tree. It's not a fresh or alive tree. And then we have mud activity all over there. Something snapped that off here recently. The leaves are all wet and everything. Whatever was here not very long ago, which is very something else. You have another tree snap right here. And like I said, if I can zero in on that, you check that out. We've got the X we just took a look at, and tell me that doesn't look like a beautiful little path out into an extremely dense swamp. Now, if you guys remember last year, that's the swamp right over there that I actually had, keep this running for a minute, I actually had, while I was circling around another swamp about a mile off to my right, came down off this massive ridge, and I got down into that swamp, and I don't know, I'm very good in the woods. Like, you could literally drop me off out in the middle of wherever, and if I know where the major roads are and stuff, and I have a rough idea which way you just took me in there, I'm not going to have any problem figuring out what my bearings are, and I will head right on out of there. Not meaning I'm going to come right out to where your truck's parked, but I'll be within a half mile of that. But I definitely won't be heading in one of the other 4 directions, right? I'm very, very good at that. It just comes natural to me. That's all there is to it. So I get over here, Mr. I know where I'm at, and I get into what's going on over there. Okay, so we do have something over to the right of us. Probably deer. But, I get over into that swamp. Hello? Well, I think something's gonna happen here. Alright, so I will tell you that if something crazy happens, I gotta drop this phone and prepare to meet whatever. But anyway, I get over into that friggin' swamp, and I'm like heading right on, beelining right on out through there, because I know where I am. And it got dark. Well, I figured any minute now I'm gonna run into the trail. I kept going. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I've been going way too darn long. So, stubborn me, I get out the compass and took a look at that and realized that, you know, my trail in my area is heading north-northeast to south-southwest, and I was heading completely in the opposite direction. I think I was headed right up pretty much north, and I realized that, you know, I was not heading towards the trail. I was heading deeper into the woods. So I took a reading on the compass, and I have one on my pack that it's one of those little round ones that are, you know, it's in water and stuff. So I just kept looking down at that, stopped for every second or so, and I'm tearing through that swamp. And it was probably, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes or so, and boom, come right out to the trail. Well, the whole time I was running through there, I was going through stuff that was so thick. It was like dead shrub spruce, just so dense. It was just, and you're jumping from like mud bog to mud bog, landing in half of them. At that time, my adrenaline was flowing, and I'm like, almost for the first time in my life, thought to myself, because I was so sure that I was going the right way the first time, I was second guessing that compass. And I'm thinking, man, this compass is wrong. And I'm going deeper into the wrong spot. And I am going to get lost in the woods by myself in a nasty swamp. So about the time I got through all that crap, you know, I was pushing through hard, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I push, come out to the trail, and on the way out of there, apparently something had caught my pack and it opened my pack up, and I didn't know it, and I'm still walking. And there's a video on my channel, if you guys go back and check it out. I can't remember which one exactly it was, but it's the one where at one point towards the end of it, you'll hear me stop. You'll see me turn with my headlamp towards the swamp that's on my left, and I'll say, well, there's something walking along right there. Okay, and I've said this in other videos, it was something else. Now, it sounded exactly like a man walking through the water of a swamp, on the edge of the swamp. There had to have been at least a foot of water to make that kind of splash. I don't know if you just heard that splash I just made, but it was just like that. And I said what I said, and then I continued on walking, doing the video. Then I heard it again. And I was only maybe, I don't know, at that time, probably half mile away from the truck or so. And you know, it was a significant, fun evening, to say the least. A little hair raising for me, but I get all the way to the truck. You know, I might have taken that video down now that I think about it, because all right, never mind. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If you get to hear it, great. If you don't, there was a reason why I took it down at the end, because I actually videotaped my location. It was something else just took off. That did sound like a deer or coyote, fox, something. But so I get just about to my truck, and all of a sudden my water bottle fell out of the back of my truck. And I was like, holy jeepers creepers. And I honestly was my adrenaline was pumping so bad that I thought that was something throwing like a rock at me or something. It like about made me piss my pants. And I realized it was my water bottle and started laughing it off. And that was the end of that video. I lost a beautiful knife back there in that swamp. And I've had a couple feeble attempts about going over there and trying to look for it, but I keep getting sidetracked. And I haven't been over in that swamp since. I'm going to leave you with this. So, when I was out there plowing through that really heavy brush, just drop my net. I'm going to catch some brook trout, baby. I'm too late for the nighttime run, but all right, I got to finish this up. What do we got? 13 friggin' minutes. Always make them too long, John. So, what was I saying? Oh, let's see. He's like, oh, okay. So right after I looked at that compass and just started barreling through the woods, adrenaline pumping, now I don't care about nothing. I'm just head down going through. I want out of there. And all of a sudden I thought I heard something off to my right, and I stopped, and then something did take off. Now whatever took off, it had some weight to it. It was so thick in there was no way that I would have been able to see anything, and I didn't have a thermal back then. And I'll tell you another thing about this Scout thermal. If it's more than 50-60 yards away in the woods, there's a good chance you ain't gonna see it unless it's steaming hot and butt naked. Deer, I just videotaped some deer on my thermal right behind my house. Actually, I was on Bigfoot Odyssey I heard this howl behind my house, which I do think I've come to the conclusion that it was an owl. Set up my recorder. Excuse me, that's disgusting. I shouldn't do that on. I just like my dad, man. Nose run sweat like a son of a gun. But forgot what I was talking about, folks. Yeah, son of a beech nut tree. What was I talking about? Hurry up. Okay, yeah, so that, whatever it was in that swamp took off. I guess what I'm getting at is from that area right there, within a mile of that area, I had the most activity in investigating Sasquatch out of any of the areas I've ever been, except for research site area 1, where I had a huge tree pushed over and I felt another one of those big thumps on the ground, and that was like only like my 3rd time ever going out. And I really just chalked it up as you don't know what you're talking about. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in. We're about a 3/8 of a mile from where we're going to be fishing, and we're going to get some poles out there and see if we can catch ourselves some brook trout. We got to set up the tent, get a fire going. It's been raining like crazy for the last week and a half. Only a couple, I just saw, oh yeah, there is a light over there. Somebody's over there. So, you know, let's see if we can get some firewood and get a fire going, and we'll make a night of it. I'll bring you in if anything's interesting. Otherwise, you know, see you in the morning. This is Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks, waving my magic wand.